Okay, fellas, I got everything all buttoned up and functional, and when you know it, it's raining outside. So this is probably the next to the last video on this project, and I gotta say, I haven't taken it out and driven it yet, but so far I just love this thing. It is really seriously a great package, a great system. It's a great radio. This is the radio. Let me get a little focus on that. It's the Turnigy 9XR Pro, and this is the version set up by Kevin. You get this at RC Tanks Australia. Now, this system is, as far as cost, I don't know, it's not super expensive, but it's not cheap. The board was $156 for the ASP. That was delivered, including shipping. The radio, I believe, was $243, including shipping. But, and you can get the 9XR Pro at some place like Hobby King for cheaper than that, you know. But this has got the FrSky module in it, which gives me model matching. Kevin has set this radio up. It's the Tank Edition. He's already self-centered the sticks. It's completely set up for ASP. He adds the at least two additional 3-position switches for you. When I got this, I didn't have to program anything or set anything. The only thing I had to do was turn off the momentum, and all it took was a quick email to Kevin, and he told me how to do it. So far, the radio looks like it's going to be really easy to program, to learn. I don't know if it'll be as easy as the i6 was, but so far, so good. And I really like it. It's got some really great functions that aren't available anywhere else in an airsoft tank. So enough of me gabbing. Let's get with the program. Turn on the radio. The pretty girl talks to you. At least I'm assuming she's pretty. It's probably... No, I'm not going to say anything bad now. Turn on the tank. Now when the tank goes on, I'm going to move the radio out of the way and refocus. Now, this is your intro. This lets you know that everything's working like it's supposed to. Now, on initial startup, you've got your choice of 4 different startup sounds. Once you're started and turn the tank off, you only have 1 startup sound, because those switches will do other things. They will control your lights and stuff like that. So I'm just going to pick one of the 4 at random. Now you notice the headlights went on solid. Smoke unit comes on. You can turn that off. I'm going to let it go for a second. So this is not a V2 smoker. This is so it doesn't come up quite as quick, but it's a decent smoker. For these tanks, I don't like a whole lot of smoke for the Tigers, but this one works pretty good. I'm not sure how it's showing up on the new camera. I'm recording this in the lowest setting so that I'll get the shortest upload time to YouTube. So I'm gonna turn the motor off. Now I've got different switches to control my different functions, like lights. When it's turned off like this, the rev switch gives you different sound. I think it's pretty cool. You can get different types of music. It's Panzer something. Kevin knows what it is. I'm not sure. Anyway, the German tanks come with the German music. I'm not sure what he's going to have for the American tanks and the Russian tanks. That'll be interesting. It's got volume control right at the TX. It's got proportional turret rotation, and it's got really, really good control on that. Barrel elevation is now simply up and down. I like that. That's pretty good. It turns out that it seems that the trigger switch is responsible for the cannon sound. I think it was just given the delay because I didn't actually have the turret hooked up. Kevin's probably been watching this and laughing at me and waiting to see how long it was going to take me to figure that out. But airsoft, baby. Here's something that no other airsoft tank can do. What's that? We just got shot at by a Sherman? I turned down the volume partway through that, but man, we got killed that time. Again, with the incoming, there are 4 different soundtracks that the ASP selects randomly. That being one of my favorites, with the machine gun bullets bouncing off the turret. A little shorter than the one we heard the first time. Now that's 3. It may go back to one of the original 3. It may give us the 4th. We'll see. I believe that was the first one we heard. But anyway, there's 4 different sounds randomly selected. Same thing with the music. There's 4 different tracks randomly selected. I've got 2 different machine guns. I haven't got a machine gun hooked in the turret, but if I did, it would run on this switch, machine gun 2. Machine gun 1 gives me flashing LED. And Kevin's got decent power going to it. I've noticed with some of the other boards the machine gun's a little weak. This one's actually pretty good. I've still got to get the fiber optic rod in there to bring the light out to the end of the machine gun barrel. Lights up. I'm going to start the tank back up so you can see the rev function. I'll have to turn smoke off. Every time you turn the tank off, it resets, and you'll have to turn smoke off when you turn it back on, but that's no big deal. Flick a switch. Now this is the rev function. When you hit this switch, again, 4 different tracks that the ASP selects from randomly. There's one that's pretty long. It's whoops, accidentally shot you guys. Sorry about that. I'm going to give it a few tries and see if we can get the one that's my favorite. That was 2 different ones. That's the one I like best. It's pretty cool. Auxiliary machine gun. And of course on the other switch we've still got incoming. Music. Which is easily shut off by just hitting the switch again. When you rotate the one pod all the way to the other side, all this is in Kevin's videos, but then that changes the rev switch to music. So there's I think 4 different tracks in 2 different settings on the pod, and then you've got your incoming, your 2 machine guns, your rev sound. The rev sound is really cool, and I like the incoming. I think it's pretty cool. They really killed us that time, eh? But yeah, I gotta say, I am seriously impressed with this board. You got to be kind of easy with the turret. I just went full over like it was a hang long, and it just started going really fast. It'll crank right around though. I think this has got enough turret speed for modern tanks. I have a slip ring in this. When I get my rotation motor back where it's supposed to be, or elevation rather. Back is up, down is forward. I have to, on this tank, the way I've got the airsoft and the elevation set up, it'll actually depress low enough that it'll raise the barrel when it goes over the lights. So that's one thing I have to kind of watch. But I wasn't satisfied with the stock barrel depression. mine doesn't go down as far as a real Tiger, but it does go down into the negative, which a lot of airsoft tanks will not do. My stock Walker Bulldog, it gets down to maybe 10 degrees up, is as low as it'll go. But the ASP this Tiger is set up differently. I did a little tweak into it. I can't say enough good things about this board. I can't wait to get it outside and drive it. I've driven it around the living room. I know it handles pretty good. I'm just tickled pink. I'm really, really glad I bought it. I'm going to buy at least one more to put on this same radio. Now, I strongly, strongly recommend that if you get one of these, the first time you get it, you get the package, the ASP and the radio. Kevin sets it up. It's pretty close to plug and play. The lower hull is mostly, plug and play. You do have to rewire the turret, but it's not that big a deal. All you're basically doing is running the elevation motor and the turret rotation motor straight to plugs on the ASP board. And I believe Kevin includes wires to do that with. He puts in, there's a lot of leads and cables and stuff that come with this. I didn't happen to need them because this tank was already set up like that. But you've got everything you need. And all you need is, like a soldering iron and a little patience. The one thing that's missing are some really good tutorial videos and written instructions, or at least I haven't been able to find any really good tutorial videos or written instructions. I'll have to talk to Kevin about that. Other than that, it's a pretty easy installation. I didn't have any trouble with it. I mean, the only reason it took so long is because real life kept getting in the way. I had so much other stuff on my plate. And but now it's all set, and like I said, I can't say enough good things about it. If you get the whole package in the beginning, the radio's all set up, it's ready to go. All you got to do is hook it up and go for it. And then after that, you can add additional FrSky receivers and put other tanks on this. And with the model matching, what that does is, let's say, just for example, I put my Panther G on an ASP. I can turn the power on to my Tiger 1, turn the power on to my Panther G. I can have them both on the battlefield. I can go back and forth from tank to tank without having to turn them off and without both of them acting up at the same time. With the 9X, if I were to do that, as soon as I hit engine start, both tanks would start. But with the FrSky module, you select the model that you're going to use. You go from like Model 1 to Model 2, and when you start Model 2, Model 1 will not start. Nothing will happen with Model 1. It won't have any effect on it. Only Model 2 will start and run. You can drive it around for a while, then you can park it, shut it down, switch over to Model 1, drive that around, shut it down, park it. You can theoretically do that with like 16 tanks on this radio. You just got to buy a separate receiver for each tank, and of course another board, in this case the ASP. And so like I said, I really, really like it. I'm really impressed with it. I think it was money well spent. It's the board itself, I think, is actually a little bit cheaper than the IBU2. The only thing that it's missing that I will talk to Kevin about, there is one thing that I would like to have, and that is the shell ejection clinking after the cannon fire. But the Juno board comes with 2 separate SD cards, and it also has 3 speaker inputs. So I've got the stock Tigen speaker running on there, and then I've got both of the Mado speakers hooked up there. In the previous video, you would have seen the Mado speakers hooked up, and I just got them Velcroed so that I can pull them out and set them off to the side when I want to change batteries. It made for a neat and tidy installation. The ASP board is just a little bit bigger than the Clark. It fits in there nicely. You would still be able to use NIM batteries if you wanted to. I would recommend LiPo though, and I believe Kevin does too. For electronics this sensitive, you definitely will be more pleased with LiPo. But NIM will still work, but you'll need a quality NIM battery. I would not try to use those yellow NiCads that come with a Henglong tank. I would go like with at least, say, an Onyx 3000 milliamp NIM battery, something like that, and everything will run just fine on the NIM. It's just, I think, just a great setup. Can you tell? I really like it, and I strongly recommend it. That's the ASP and the Turnigy 9XR Pro, set up by Kevin Granum at RC Tanks Australia. So I hope this helped somebody. I hope that it was educational. We'll see you next time.